Hello friends, this week I'm in the Cayman Islands. I'm in search of the money that rich Americans used to have to hide here before we gave them yet another tax break. I'm also here to get some stem cell therapy. Turns out some of these procedures aren't exactly street legal back in the US, so here I am! Stem cell therapy. Is it a miracle cure or snake oil? Well, that depends who you ask. It's kind of like the midterm elections. Was it a blue wave? Was it a giant victory for bigotry? Who knows? If you're asking me, I'd say it wasn't quite a wave, but it was definitely like a blue ripple. I say that because the election largely played out the way the fortune tellers at VPR said it would. And even though Democrats picked up 12 seats in the Vermont House, there was one man in Montpelier who was noticeably immune to that Democratic surge. Speaking, of course, about Republican Governor Phil Scott, who more or less sailed to re-election. As far as I can tell, his success seems to be because he's friendly. People like his personality. Which leads me to suspect some people are confusing voting with dating. See, when it comes to a governor, I don't need someone I can sit and have a drink with. That's what my friends are for. I would settle for a governor who understood that toxic chemicals are, well, toxic. Nonetheless, it's not up to me. We still technically live in a democracy, at least for another week or two. And the voters have spoken. But it wasn't all good news for Governor Scott on election night. The Democrats now have a supermajority in the Vermont House, which means they have the numbers to potentially override his vetoes. This means the governor may have to radically change his approach to governing. Now, although Vermont passed on the opportunity to elect a historic candidate, there were plenty of states willing to do that for us. We've now elected the youngest person ever to Congress, the first Native American and Muslim women were elected to Congress, and the first openly gay governor was elected, so lots of interesting changes happening elsewhere. And here in Vermont, we made soft history. We broke voter turnout records for a midterm election, which is amazing. Something like 57% of all registered voters went out and got it done last week. And if you're paying attention to these elections in other states, you probably noticed how much easier it is to vote in Vermont than pretty much anywhere else. I didn't realize how lucky we are to live in a place that believes that every single vote should be counted. To those of you who did vote, thank you so much. You killed it. Let's do it again. You never know which election's gonna be the last election the way things are going, so get it while you can! Alright, that's gonna do it for me this week. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, stem cells, whatever. I'll see you next time.